guys, welcome back to Lisa Study Guides. So right now it's in the middle of December and I know that most of you should have finished school by now and you're enjoying your school holidays. Because it is summer holidays and most people aren't really studying right now, this is for the truly keen beans. The people who are reading the text before the school starts, which by the way you should be doing. I'll pop that video in a card up above. And so if you are studying Burial Rites, then this video is for you. If you're not, as always, it doesn't really matter because the type of advice that I will be giving will definitely be relevant to any text because it's more about your thinking and how you actually go around approaching essay topics. Burial Rites is about this girl called Agnes, and she is the last person in Iceland to be sentenced to the life sentence. This book covers the last few months of her life living with these people who she's sharing her story with. She has been sentenced because she has murdered Nathan, and although we first initially hear that she has murdered this guy, when we start to hear her story develop, that's when we start to see that there are shades of grey and that she did have reason behind what she did, and you can start to feel quite sympathetic towards her. At the same time though, and this is what today's essay question will be about, there's a lot to do with the patriarchy. Agnes, being not just a woman but an intelligent woman, was something that was looked down upon and people were scared of that. So that's just to give you a little bit of context so that we can start this essay topic. Today's chosen essay topic is Women Have No Power in Burial Rites. The patriarchy dominates their lives. To what extent do you agree? So the first step, as always, is we look at keywords. So what are the keywords here? To me, they are women, no power, patriarchy, and dominates. So these words really stand out to me, and these are the words that I feel are necessary for me to focus on in order to answer this prompt properly. The second step that I do is I define keywords. So what I do here is I try to understand what the keywords mean and also their implications. Women, as our first keyword, it's easy just to say, oh, women includes this character and this character. But we can start to think about more so the implications as well. So don't just think about the major characters like Agnes and Margaret, but also think about the minor characters like Sia and Rosa. No power. So to me, no power means to lack freedom. It's not necessarily no power like, I'm not strong. And this is why we need to actually define the words, because many words have multiple connotations or they have multiple meanings. So you need to figure out, okay, how am I going to find this word so that I've got the right focus for the rest of my essay? This is silly, but what if you halfway through your essay went, holy crap, power could also mean electricity, and I didn't talk about electricity. So electricity is not part of burial rites, but it's just something to get you thinking. You don't just want to dive straight into the essay assuming you know what the keyword means and what it entails. Actually spend time to define it so that it's a lot clearer for you too. So I've also added that no power means a lack of power compared to men. So because it is a patriarchy, the fact that they have no power is very much so linked to the fact that it's male induced. The third one is the patriarchy. So a male-dominated society, which means that an analysis of male characters is also required to fully understand male and female interactions. If you have an essay where you only talk about the women, then you're maybe only answering it 50%. To really add extra value to what you're saying and to really solidify your points, talk about the men, because everyone influences each other one way or another. The last thing is I would also add to what extent. So when a prompt says to what extent, to me it means that some sort of challenge is required here. It's probably not enough if I just completely agree with it, because it's almost suggesting that the extent does end somewhere and that you need to go beyond it. My third step is I plan out key arguments. So this is how I'm going to break down this essay prompt. I am going to do 2 body paragraphs where I agree and 1 body paragraph where I disagree. So this should mean that I'm only agreeing to a certain extent. So my first body paragraph is yes, under male authority, the women are robbed of freedom and power. My example for that would be Agnes, who is the protagonist. She's a woman who's been sentenced to death for murdering Nathan, more about him later. And as a result, society condemns her and she's robbed of her identity and freedom. Everything I said was altered until the story wasn't my own. The metaphor of a story represents her being stripped of her experiences and identity, and instead replaced with how others think of her: whore, mad woman, and murderess. My second body paragraph would be another agreement, but this time I'm going to focus on the men. So in this second body paragraph, my argument is men hold exploitative power over women. 1. Nathan, the person who was murdered, toys with all his whores, demonstrating male dominance in 1820s Iceland. All his workmates are stranded, shipwrecked, with nowhere else to go, highlighting women's hopelessness in changing their situation. Additionally, there's Blondel. So Blondel is a government authority, and his tone when commanding Lorga, not too sure how to say that, you guys let me know. I'm sure you would not question me, which is also another example of women's subordinate status. The third one is one where I disagree. Here will be that there are rare instances of female empowerment in the novel. The first one will be Rosa, the poet. So Rosa has an affair with Nathan, but Kent praises Rosa as she's described to be a wonderful woman and beautiful. Rosa transcends patriarchal structures as she is assertive, headstrong, going against social codes in an act of female empowerment. The second one will be Agnes. So her storytelling and ability to express what she is inside allows her to gain a voice in the patriarchal world that has silenced her. Through her storytelling, she asserts her self-worth and dignity. And despite the fact that she has been locked down, she is being treated like crap by the men, her ability to hold herself strong and to be able to face her death with dignity means that, with some sense, at least from within, that sense of empowerment has not been completely diminished. That's it. I wanted to keep this video short and sweet, give you enough information so that you can go off on your own and start using these skills. I want you guys to comment down below. Let me know how I can improve these segments. So as you can see, for the first time, I have an animator, and the reason why I wanted to do this was because I wanted to be able to deliver the information to you guys in a more creative way that was entertaining and something that was easy for you guys to absorb as well. So let me know, do you guys want me to go into more detail? Is short and sweet good? What should I do? I'm here for you guys, so if you let me know, then I can absolutely make sure that I do my best to make sure that the changes that I make to my future videos are based on your feedback. Just to put this out there shamelessly, if you guys are studying burial rites and this was helpful for you, then I'd encourage you to go ahead and check out the study guides that I co-wrote with 2 other amazing girls. I wanted to thank Vivian, who did the part on burial rites. So if you like this way of breaking down the prompt, then this is the type of information that you'll find really helpful. There's heaps of fully annotated A+ essays in here. So, it's not just like reading an essay and just looking at it and going, okay, so that's an A+ essay, awesome. No, we actually tell you guys why they are A+ essays, what's been done really well, because they are fully annotated. And not just that, but we have heaps of high scoring essays and lower scoring essays, so you can compare against the 2 and understand, what do I need to do next in order to step up, or what is it that I'm doing that the higher graded essays are doing better. So I'd highly recommend this. It's based on the VC study design, and it's got over 20 texts on the study design. I'm super proud of it. Ah, really exciting news. It's also in bookstores. So it's in JP Books, Lilydale Books, Teacher Superstore, and also academic and high school bookshops. So if you're close to any of those, then I'd love it if you could go ahead and support your sister. Let the bookstores know that they're actually stocking me for a reason.